All right, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. I'm Officer Gideon here at iuicaugusta Augusta. All right, so today's topic will be discussing the tongue of the ungodly. Yes, the tongue of the ungodly. All right, because oftentimes in this truth, we still struggle with how to deal with our people when it comes to our speech. You have a lot of murmuring, gossip, talebearing, backbiting, everything that's going to keep us out of the kingdom. I know I want the kingdom, so therefore, this is one of the things that I really, I try to apply to the best of my ability. I try to make sure I'm not caught in these things because the scriptures tell you that we can't deal with our brothers and sisters out of malice, out of talebearing, out of gossip. We can't deal with our brothers and sisters in that manner. All right, and it's other things that would keep us out of the kingdom. But the thing is, that tongue is one of those is going to be the biggest problem that we see. All right, I'm going to show you that real quick. Go to that James. Open up with James real quick. I just want to show you that that point.
The book of James, chapter 3, and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
For in many things we offend all.
It says, for many things we offend all. Read.
If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man.
So it says, if any man offend not in word, that man is a perfect man. So the thing is, we all offend in word. We all offend with our words. But the thing is, do you go back and correct it with your brother? You be like, hey, brother, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I promise, or I assure you that that's not going to happen again. All right, we try to make things right with our brothers and sisters if we offend them in word. Read.
The same is a perfect man,
Uh-huh.
and is able also to bridle the whole body.
It says, and this man is also able to bridle the whole body. You can't bridle your whole body. You know what I'm saying? You can't. You can't. I mean, your tongue, you're gonna offend somebody. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say something that's gonna hurt somebody every now and then. But the thing is, you got to be trying to clean that up so you don't offend the little ones, so you don't offend those brothers and sisters that's coming in those doors. All right, let's go to that definition. I have a definition of contention. All right, because contention is one of those things that a lot. Yes, that's it. Contention is one of those things that we often have in the body. All right. It's always that brother or sister that always want to have contention. All right? Read that definition.
Contention, a heated disagreement.
So we always going to have disagreements. It says a heated disagreement. Read.
Similar disagreement. Dispute.
Uh-huh.
Disputation.
Uh-huh.
Argument.
Hold on. Read the ones that's highlighted.
Highlighted. Variance. Discord, hostility, conflict, friction, strife.
So it says strife. Keep going.
Dissension, quarreling.
So there's always going to be someone in the body that's trying to bring contention. Also, dividing the unity that we're trying to establish and build. Because when you have a disagreement, you're going to have that often. But when you allow it to become variance, friction, strife, then you know something is wrong. All right? So give me the next definition. Talebearing. Talebearing. You got that one? Yep. Yes, sir.
Talebearing in the Bible meaning. In the Bible, a talebearer is someone who spread malicious gossip or secrets that may cause harm or trouble.
It says malicious gossip or secrets that may cause harm or trouble. All right, so get the definition of malicious. Get the definition of malicious. I believe I sent that one to you as well. Because this the thing. Malicious, you have intent to cause harm to someone with malicious words. You have intentions on causing harm with those malicious words. And we're going to show you some examples of that. Pull it up.
Malicious, characterized by malice, intending or intended to do harm.
You see that? It says malice, intending or intended to do harm. Read those ones that's the similar.
Similar,
highlighted.
hostile,
Hostile.
bitter,
Bitter.
venomous,
Venomous. A venomous snake kills. You get bit by a rattlesnake, you got a high possibility of dying. So when a person speak malicious words to you, or you speaking malicious words about another brother or sister, your intent is to kill them, to murder them. Read.
poisonous,
Poisonous. Read.
vengeful,
Vengeful. You got vengeance on your hand. But we know vengeance is of the Lord. That's why the Lord tell us not no railing for railing. Read.
nasty,
Nasty.
harmful,
Harmful.
hurtful,
Hurtful.
destructive.
Destructive. You see that? And that's a lot of you see that a lot in the body. You see a lot of brothers with this trait, but mainly our sisters. And the thing is, this spirit here is gonna always keep us down as a nation if we can't control it. If we don't get it right. We got to get it right. Because we're trying to unify. You can't unify speaking malicious words to your brothers and sisters. It's no way you're going to be able to unify that way. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get into it. Let's open up with Matthew chapter 12 and verse 35. All right? Matthew chapter 12 and verse 35. So we're going to show you, I'm going to show you the difference in how you're using your tongue, your mouth. Are you using it for good or are you using it for evil? All right? And we're going to do a compare and contrast. Like, how did our Lord and Savior move? How did our forefathers move? All right? Read that real quick.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 35.
Uh-huh.
A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth good things.
It says, read that again. Read that again.
A good man
Uh-huh.
out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things.
It says a good man or woman, out of the treasures of the heart bringeth forth good things. Read.
And an evil man
And an evil man.
out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
It says a evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. So like I said, we're going to do a compare and contrast. What are you bringing to the table when it comes to your speech? Are you bringing forth evil or good? All right, read.
But I say unto you
Uh-huh.
that every idle word,
Every what?
idle word
Every word without purpose. Read.
that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment.
So every word you speak, every idle word, every word without purpose you speak, you're going to give account before the Lord in the day of judgment. All right? And I know that's a scary thing. So why in the world would we play around with that if all you got to do is do right by your brother and sister? All right? Read that real quick. Leviticus 19 and verse 16. Start at verse 16. Leviticus 19 and 16. Because oftentimes we forget this thing. We think, we learn a couple precepts. We think we can just, do whatever we want. We can say whatever we want to people. No, you can't. No, you can't. You're supposed to humble yourself down even more the more you learn. The more you start applying to your life, you got to humble yourself down. You got to keep your mouth closed. You got to do right by the people. All right? Read that.
Book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer.
It says you should not go up and down as a talebearer. Read.
Among thy people.
Among who?
Thy people.
Among thy people. So this is your people, the Lord telling you not to go up and down against your people. Read.
Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor.
It says, neither shall you stand against the blood of thy neighbor. Read.
I am the Lord.
I am the Lord, verse 17.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
So if you do the opposite, if you go up and down as a talebearer, guess what? You hate your brother. Read.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
All right, it says you should rebuke your neighbor. That's the thing. When we use our words, we must use it for the edification, you know what I'm saying, correction, stuff of that nature, a teaching moment, right? If I see my brother doing something off, guess what? I'm going to go talk to my brother. I'm going to rebuke my brother, correct him. We shake hands, we dap it up, whatever you want to say. We salute each other, and guess what? I gave my brother. I'm not going to go and talk about my brother to the next brother, and now, you know, it spread like a wildfire, like a cancer, and now everybody hate that brother for a mistake. That's how you solve that, by going to your brother one-on-one, talking to him, fixing it right there, correcting your brother like the scriptures say, and not showing hatred towards him to gain your brother. Read.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And so you don't suffer sin upon him. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 20. Proverbs 17 and 20. So right now I'm going over some characteristics of brothers and sisters that bring forth evil things. Like the scriptures say, what are you bringing to the table? You bringing forth good, or you bringing forth evil, right? Read that. Proverbs 17 and verse 20.
The book of Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
He that have a forward heart findeth no good.
It says, he that have a froward heart findeth no good. Can you pull up that definition of froward? I don't know if I sent it to you. Let's see if I sent it to you. I think I did. Froward heart. Read it again.
He that hath a froward heart findeth no good.
It says, he that have a froward heart findeth no good. Let's get that definition of froward. If you can't find it, just go to Google and type in froward. Hey, can you find froward? Can you pull it up on your? There we go.
Forward definition.
Uh-huh.
Of a person difficult to deal with.
It says a person difficult to deal with. Read.
Contrary.
Contrary. So what I have for froward is contrary to God's laws. That is a froward heart. A person that, read it again.
Of a person difficult to deal with.
All right, let's go back to the scripture.
Verse 20.
Uh-huh.
He that have a froward heart.
A froward heart. A heart that's contrary to God's laws. A mind that's contrary to God's laws. Read.
Findeth no good.
It says he findeth no good. Read.
And he that have a perverse tongue.
And he also have a perverse tongue. Read.
Falleth into mischief.
He falleth into mischief. He always in the midst of some sin. Right? All right, let's go to Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 5 to deal with that froward. Read that.
The book of Proverbs 22 and verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward.
It says thorns and snares. Thorns and snares. I don't know if y'all ever try to walk through a thorn bush. It hurt. It's very, very painful. It's very painful, and you go through all that pain, and a lot of times you don't make it through the thorns. You never make it through the thorns. You just go through it all. It's all pain. Read.
He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them.
Read it again for me.
Thorns and snares are
snares. I want to deal with that snares. It says thorns. So thorns is very, very painful to try to get through, right? It says and snares. So basically it's a trap. It says thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. So pain and traps is in the path of the froward. Read it again.
Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward.
Uh-huh. It says thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. Read.
He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them.
So if you want to keep your soul, people like this that's froward, the Lord tell you to keep far away from them. A brother and sister that's always going against God's laws, the Lord says stay away from them. Stay away from them, or else what? You'll get bit. You're going to get bit, and you're going to fall into those same traps. All right? Let's go to Proverbs 11 and 13. Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 13.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11 and verse 13. A talebearer revealeth secrets.
So, this is one of them things right here. It says a talebearer revealeth secrets. We're going to really go in on this talebearing thing because that's a heavy thing. When you come in this truth, you find that brother or sister that you can talk to, that you can get built up with, and you tell them something personal, not sin, but something personal, and they reveal it to the whole congregation, you're never going to trust that brother or sister again. And guess what? It might cause a brother or sister to leave because they say, oh, man, I told this officer or I told this senior sister, and she told the whole congregation what I got going on, and now I can't trust nobody. We got to be very mindful of that because something that small, or not small, something as simple as telling a secret to this brother, spread throughout the whole congregation, destroy a brother, you're going to be responsible for that. That blood going to be on your hands when that soul leaves. So we got to make sure that we are not a talebearer. It says a talebearer revealeth secrets. Read it again.
A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter.
It says he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. You're not telling everybody this business. You're not telling this what this sister came to you to get, counsel on. You're not revealing that to the whole congregation. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to tell all your little groupies. You're not going to tell the brothers that you talk to, and some of them brothers might not be in leadership. Leadership you got to understand this. When certain things come up, leadership, of course, going to know. But leadership is not going to be telling your business to the whole congregation. Just imagine if our bishop just told everybody business. Come on, bro. Nobody will be here. There's so many things that come across the bishop table, and he have to conceal it and help build us up. He built us up through the deacons and the captains. So we got to roll in that same spirit. When a brother or sister come to you to confide and trying to, just vent maybe, as long as it's not sin, guess what? You hold that thing because they trusted in you. They trusted in you to hold that matter, right? Read it again.
Proverbs 11 and 13. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter.
It says he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Read.
Where no counsel is, the people fall.
So that brother or sister want counsel. So he come to you and get counsel, or she come to you and get counsel, expecting you to hold it there and get help. You know what I'm saying? Not tell the whole congregation to gossip. Read.
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Yes, it's safety in the multitude of counsel. So therefore, you don't want to kill that brother or sister's spirit by revealing the secrets, revealing those things that they battling. All right, let's go to Sirach chapter 22. Let's go to Sirach chapter 22. 22 and verse 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 22 and verse 10. But children, being haughty, through disdain and want of nurture, do stain the nobility of their kindred.
Hold on. Let me see something. Sirach chapter 22 and verse... Sirach chapter 27, 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 27 and verse 17. Love thy friend and be faithful unto him.
Read.
But if thou bearest his secrets, follow no more after him.
So, I want you to read that again, slow it down just a little bit.
Verse 17. Love thy neighbor.
Better yet, start at verse 15.
Verse 15. The strife of the proud is bloodshedding.
So it says the strife of the proud is bloodshed. Read.
And there's revelings or grief to the ear.
Grievous to the ear. It says, and there their revelings are grievous to the ear. Read.
Whoso discovers secrets loses his credit.
You see that? That's why it's so important that you're not just so loose when a brother or sister come to you and seeking counsel. It says because you will lose your credit. When that brother come to you and he tell you something real personal and you go and tell the whole nation, the Lord said you lose your credit. Why? Because the brother not going to respect you no more. And everybody else that find out you did this not going to respect you anymore. Read.
And shall never find friend to his mind.
You're never going to find a friend to your mind. Nobody want to be friends with a brother or sister that reveals secrets, that betray their brother, their neighbor. Read.
Verse 17.
Uh-huh.
Love thy friend and be faithful unto him.
It says, love your friend and be faithful unto him. How? Not revealing those secrets. Read.
But if thou bewrayest his secrets.
But if thou bewrayest his secrets, read.
Follow no more after him.
The Lord say don't follow no more after him, because why? He's not your friend. He's not your friend. Read.
For as a man hath destroyed his enemy, so hast thou lost the love of thy neighbor.
So the Lord say, for as a man hath destroyed his enemy. So when you reveal those secrets that those brothers or sisters come to you, that tale-bearing spirit, it says it's like you destroyed your enemy. And read that second part again.
For as a man hath destroyed his enemy, so hast thou lost the love of thy neighbor.
And it says you have also lost the love of your neighbor. Read.
As one that lets a bird go out of his hand, so hast thou let thy neighbor go.
So imagine if you had a bird and you was holding on to a bird. As soon as you open your hand, that bird going to fly away. It ain't no coming back. That bird not coming back. So the Lord say, just like when you reveal those secrets and you lost the love of your brother, it ain't nothing you could do to fix that. You're not going to be able to fix it. Read.
And shalt not get him again.
You're not going to get him again. Read.
Follow after him no more.
Follow not after that talebearer no more. Read.
For he is too far off.
He's off. He's too far off. Read.
He is as a roe escaped out of the snare.
I don't know if y'all ever watched the deer run from a gazelle, or the deer run from a cheetah, or the gazelle run from a cheetah. Guess what? When that thing is gone, it's doing everything it can to not get caught. So that's what the Lord is saying right here. It says, as he as a roe.
The most important.
He as a roe escape out of a trap. Once that deer escape out of that trap, you're not going to catch it. It's not going to come back. Just like that friend that escaped from you, he's not coming back. That friend you betrayed, that you tale-beared against, you're not going to get him back. You're never going to gain that brother or sister back once you reveal those secrets. Read.
Verse 21. As for a wound, it may be bound up.
So it says, as for a wound, it may be bound up. So if my brother cut me with a knife, guess what? I could bound that up, and me and him could fix that. Read.
And after revealing, there may be reconcilement.
It says after reviling, we can fix it. We can reconcile, right? We could come back together. Like, hey, bro, I don't like the way you stabbed me. You know what I'm saying? You pay for this hospital bill. We're going to go talk. We're going to sit it out. Sit down. Matthew's 18, and we're going to fix it. Right? Read.
But he that bewrays secrets is without hope.
He that what?
Bewrays secrets is without hope.
It says, but he that is a talebearer, reveals secrets, is without hope. Meaning, it's no fixing that. There's no coming back from that. The Lord gave many examples right here. He gave many examples right here. So if you really don't understand, he said, listen, if a deer escape out of a trap, you're not going to catch it. It's going to run far and fast as hard as it can. Just like that brother or sister that you revealed secrets about. They're going to stay far away from you. You're not going to gain them ever again. So it's a very, very heavy thing, right? Get Sirach chapter 28 and verse 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh.
Because when we was young, there used to be a popular saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt. Right? Listen, that is so untrue. The reason why you know words hurt, when your mama used to like fuss at you, she without touching you, you're behind cry. Because those words hurt. Your daddy used to say certain things to you, you cry because it hurt. Like you got hit. So read that again.
The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh.
It says the stroke of the whip make it marks in the flesh. Read.
But the stroke of the tongue.
The stroke of what?
The tongue.
The stroke of the tongue. Read.
Breaketh the bones.
It says the stroke of the tongue breaketh bones. Meaning it cuts deeper than that whip. It hurts worse than that whip. Our forefathers was beaten real bad with that whip, right? But guess what? Those words hurt worse than that. So we got to remember that. The tongue is a very, very small member of the body. But the thing is, it does the most damage. It does the most damage. All right? Go to Sirach chapter 26 and verse 22.
The book of Sirach chapter 26 and verse 22.
Hold on. Sirach chapter, let me see. I think I wrote that down wrong.
You had more on verse 28 and.
Okay, yeah, go back to that.
Sirach 28 and verse 17. The stroke of the whip maketh mark in the flesh.
Read.
But the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword.
There you go. It says many have fallen by the edge of the sword. So I want y'all to imagine how many of our brothers and sisters have been locked up because of a heated argument or a lie or talebearing, revealing of secrets, of gossip. You know what I'm saying? How many of our brothers and sisters are in prison from that? How many of our brothers and sisters are in jail right now because of that? But guess what? The Lord say a lot of our brothers and sisters have, I ain't going to spoil it. Read it from the top.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword. Many have died by the edge of the sword. Read.
But not so many as have fallen by the tongue.
It says, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. Many brothers and sisters have been put to death by the sword, but not as many that have been put to death because of the tongue. That's a lot. We got many, many brothers and sisters that have died. We have many brothers and sisters locked up in prison because of, violence, guns, gang violence, all this crime. But the Lord says it's been more because of the tongue. That small member that's in your mouth has destroyed more people, have killed more people than anything. You got more on that?
That's it.
Okay. Go to Sirach chapter 27 and verse 17.
The book of Sirach chapter 27 and verse 17. Love thy friend.
I'm sorry. All right, so I got a question. Question I have is, what causes a person to speak evil? What causes a person to not be able to control their speech? Why is it so easy for it to just flow off the tongue, especially in this truth? Why is it so easy? I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you some examples of why it's so easy, right? Go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 31. Reason why it's so easy for our brothers and sisters to have this evil communication, this evil speech, this always murmuring, gossiping, talebearing, is because they're not fully converted. They have not converted. They're still in the world. All right, that's why the title is called The Tongue of the Ungodly. We're supposed to be righteous in this truth. We're supposed to be godly in this truth. But when we carry ourselves like these examples that we're reading now, we are ungodly. We're not fully repentant. We're not in this truth. You're not in this truth if you're a gossiper, talebearer, murmurer. You're not in this truth. And you're not going to get the kingdom that way. All right, let's go to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 31.
The book of Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 31. Let
Yeah.
all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
You see that? Because you have not put away all evil speaking from among you, you are still in the world. You have not converted yet. You're not converted. Because the Lord said we're supposed to put away all of this. We're supposed to put away anger, clamor, evil speaking, malice, wrath. We're supposed to put away all these things, right? Go to Sirach chapter 27 and verse 12. Sirach chapter 27 and verse 12. We read this all the time. All right?
The book of Sirach chapter 27 and verse 12. If
Yeah.
thou be amongst the indiscreet, observe the time.
Another reason why our brothers and sisters are always speaking evil, always murmuring, gossiping, is because the company they keep. They still around their grandmama. They still around their mama. They're doing the same thing. Hey, sister, Ebenezer over there at the Baptist church, and they're doing this and that, and that. She's sleeping with this one and this one and that one and that one. Guess what? That thing carries back over to your house. When you leave that company that's speaking all this evil and you go home, you do the same thing. Because if you hang around a gossiper, a talebearer, you hang around a backbiter, guess what? You're going to be a backbiter. You're going to be a murmurer. You're going to be a gossiper. All right? Read it again.
If thou be among the indiscreet, observe the time.
We're supposed to observe the time we're among the indiscreet, those that's not keeping the commandments. When we're around the ungodly, we're supposed to observe the time. Why? Read.
But be continually among men of understanding.
Because we got to be continually around men and women of understanding, those that keep God's commandments, so that these evil traits don't jump back on us, right? And to show you that it will jump back on you, go to 1 Corinthians 15:33. This is what the Lord is talking about. I know oftentimes we use is going into rap music, stuff of that nature. Yes, it is. It is. But it's going to go right along with this topic. Read that.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Evil communication corrupt good manners. If you're around evil speech all day, you're not observing the time, it's going to corrupt those good manners that we've been learning for years, that we changed. We came in this truth. We start keeping these commandments. We stop talking about one another. We start loving our neighbors ourselves. But guess what? You start hanging around that evil company. You start speaking evil again. You start talebearing. You start gossiping because you have been corrupted by that evil communication. Read it again.
Be not deceived.
So don't be deceived. Don't think you could ride down the road, listen to Lil Bootsy and Lil Webby and Plies and Ludacris or whoever you listen to. Don't think that you're gonna be able to listen to that mess and come and deal right with your people in this truth. It's impossible because you're that spirit gonna jump back on you to the point you talking evil about your brother and sister, because that's all rap music is about.
Right.
They speak evil about their people. Go to Sirach chapter 18 verse 27. So let's see what the Lord say about a brother and sister that don't observe the time, that don't observe when the company they keep. Read that.
The book of Sirach chapter 18 and verse 27.
Yeah.
A wise man will fear in everything.
So a wise man gonna fear in everything. When you sitting there talking to your brothers and sisters in the world, and they start talking evil and stuff like that, you're gonna be like, oh man, it's about time for me to go. A wise man gonna do that because I fear the Lord. I don't want that evil spirit to jump back on me. Read.
And in the day of sinning,
in the day of sinning, what?
He will be aware of offense.
He gonna be aware of offense. Read.
But a fool.
But a what?
But a fool.
But a fool. A fool. A fool. A brother or sister that's not keeping God's commandments. This is what the Lord calling you. When you don't observe the time, He calling you a fool. Why you a fool? Because you know better. You should be observing the time. You should not be around that evil communication. You should not be listening to it. You should not be entertaining it. Read.
A fool will not observe the
It
time.
says a fool will not observe the time. So guess what, brothers and sisters? If you're not observing the times, that evil communication will start to corrupt you again. All right. Let's go to Romans chapter 1 and verse 29. Romans 1 and 29.
The book of Romans chapter 1 and verse 29.
Yep.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness,
Read.
maliciousness, full of envy.
It says maliciousness. So remember that malicious is intent to hurt. Read.
Full of envy, murder, debates.
Debates. Our people be quick. They be wanting to debate. They don't like to humble down. They don't like to listen. They always want to open their mouth. Full of debate. Read.
Deceit, malignity, whisperers.
Whisperers. Read.
Backbiters.
Backbiters. Where you at? Verse what?
Verse 30.
Read.
Haters of God.
So, backbiters, it says haters of God. If you're a backbiter, you're a hater of God. You hate God. You hate your brother. It ain't no way in the world you could be a backbiter and say you love God, but you can't deal with your brother that's sitting right beside you. You can't stop talking junk about your brother or sister that's sitting right next to you. That you, shalom, sister, that you do every Sabbath. Or you get a bigger salute, but you talking about you love God. Most High in Christ. No, you don't. No. You hate God if you are a backbiter, or you're a murmurer, or you're a gossiper, or an evil speaker, or you have malicious intent. You hate your people. Read.
The spiteful.
Proud.
Boasters. Inventors of evil things.
Read.
Disobedient to parents.
Read.
Without understanding.
And you are without understanding. All right. So, I got to hurry up. Okay, real quick. Let's go to 1 Peter 2 and verse 21. All right, so now we got all of that out the way. Now we're going to go into some examples. The examples we must follow, all right? We got to put away all of that evil speaking, all the evil communication, and we got to follow the example of Christ. All right, read that.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21. For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us.
So Christ died on the cross for us. He suffered for us. Read.
Leaving us an example.
He left us an example. This Bible, this word, the word we read every day, the Lord he died and left us an example. Read.
That ye should follow his steps.
So we should follow his steps. So let's see the steps of Christ. Read.
Who did no sin.
He did what?
No sin.
He did no sin. Read.
Neither was guile found in his mouth.
Neither was evil found in his mouth. He wasn't talking evil his brother, his sisters. He wasn't disobedient to his parents, talking back. Christ wasn't like that. He didn't roll like that. And our forefathers and our foremothers, guess what? They followed his examples. Guess what we must do? We must follow their examples. Yes, we do have some instances when our people was murmuring, like our brothers and sisters that murmured in the wilderness with Moses. That we got many examples of that, but that's the examples we shouldn't follow. We should follow the examples of Christ. All right, go to 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 1. Let's get an example of our forefather Daniel. Let's see.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 23 and verse 1. Now these be the last words of David. David, the son of Jesse, said.
I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's get some examples of our forefather David. I'm sorry. I said Samuel. Read.
David, the son of Jesse, said, and the man who was raised up on high, the anointed of God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel said.
What did he say?
The Spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue.
His word was what?
In my tongue.
So that's what we must speak, the word of God. The word was in our forefathers David's tongue. Read.
The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God.
If you rule over man, you must be just. You must be righteous. You can't be a gossiper. You can't be a talebearer. You can't be a backbiter. It says, rule it. Read that part again.
Ruling in the fear of God.
You got to rule in the fear of God. You got to rule with fear of offending a brother or sister and causing them to lead his truth. And the way you do that is what? Have no guile found in your mouth. You don't have no guile found. That should be a scary thing when you get comfortable enough to start talking about another brother or sister like you just done made it. Bro, you ain't made it. Sister, you ain't made it. We still trying to get ourselves right each and every day. So this is one of them things we got to check off that list, and we got to rule over. We got to rule over that tongue. We got to rule over that tongue. Get Job chapter 27 and verse 4.
The book of Job, chapter 27 and verse 4. My lips shall speak wickedness.
Excuse
me.
Oh.
Read it again. Verse 4.
Read it again.
My lips shall not speak wickedness.
There you go. Job said, my lips shall not speak wickedness. So our lips should not be speaking wicked. We should not. Like I said, we got many, many examples of how we are not supposed to speak. The Lord says, speak not wickedness. Read.
Nor my tongue utter deceit.
Neither did his tongue speak deceit. Job, guess what? Job went through some stuff, and his tongue did not speak wickedness, nor he was deceitful. With going through all his trials, right? All right, Psalms 34:13.
The book of Psalms, chapter 34 and verse 13. Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile.
So when you pray at night, you should ask the Lord to keep your tongue from speaking evil and speaking guile. Read it again.
Keep thy tongue from evil and thy lips from speaking guile.
You see that? We should be asking this thing in our prayers. Lord, please help me control my mouth. Please help me not speak evil of my brother and sister. Because why? We did that so much in the world. It's like one of those things that's really hard. It ain't as easy as not eating shrimp or the pork. It's not just that easy. It's one of those things you got to pray and ask the Lord to remove. Especially if you grow up by you was raised by your mama. Most of us was raised by our mama, so we was loose at the mouth. We said whatever we wanted because we was really emotional. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to control your mouth is a real effeminate trait. Very effeminate. All right. So go to Psalms 35:28.
The book of Psalms, chapter 35 and verse 28.
Uh-huh.
And my tongue shall speak of thy righteousness.
It says your tongue should speak of thy righteousness. We should be using our tongue to build the nation, to build our brothers and sisters, not destroy them. Read.
And of thy praise all the day long.
So that's what our conversation is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be of righteousness and praising the Lord all the day long. That's what we got to start using our tongue for, our mouth for, if you haven't already. All right? Read. Oh, that's it on that. Go to Psalms 39, verse 1. And you're going to read down a little bit.
The book of Psalms, chapter 39 and verse 1.
I
said, I will take heed to my ways.
I will take heed to my ways. We all got to take heed to our ways, brothers and sisters. Read.
That I sin not with my tongue.
That I do what?
Sin not with my tongue.
So we all got to take heed. You look yourself in the mirror when you examine yourself. Damn, do I talk too much? Do I have a spirit of gossip? Do gossipers like to talk to me? Do murmurers like to talk to me? Oh, man, I got to check my spirit. I got to fix it. Read.
I will keep my mouth with a bridle.
I will keep my mouth with a bridle. The bridle, it's the headgear that control the horse. It's the headgear that control the horse. That make it go to the left, they go to the right. Guess what? It says, I will keep my mouth with a bridle. So I don't know if you ever, hey, can you pull up a picture of the horse with a bridle in his mouth? It's like a little ball that go inside the horse's mouth that make him go to the left or to the right. Read that. I'm play that real quick. Yes. All right. It don't matter. Just put one up. So, can you zoom in a little bit? To the mouth. So, it's a little piece that go in the horse's mouth that helps control the horse, that make him go to the left or to the right, make him stop, etc. Right? So, it says we must bridle our mouth like that. Read.
I will keep my mouth with a bridle. While the wicked is before me.
While the wicked is before me. Read.
I was dumb with silence.
I was dumb with silence.
I held my peace.
I held my peace.
Even from good.
And
my sorrow was stirred.
Read.
My heart was hot within me. While I was muzzing, the fire burned. Then spake I with my tongue.
All right, let's see what he say.
Lord, make me to know mine end, and the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am.
Read.
Behold, thou hast made my days as a hand breadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best state is altogether vanity. Selah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So all I wanted is verse 1. All right. All I wanted is verse 1. All right. So let's go to Proverbs 15 and verse 2. Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 2. So the key thing in that verse, we must bridle our mouth. We must learn how to control our mouth. All right. No matter how upset you get, no matter how angry you get, we must learn how to bridle our mouth, control our mouth. Read.
The book of Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 2. The eyes of the Lord are in every place.
You see that? The thing is, you might could talk about Officer Josiah and not get caught. You might could backbite. You might could murmur against the brother and never get caught. Or the sister, you can sit beside the sister and you might say something about this sister and leadership never find out. But guess what? The Lord see it. The Lord hear it. Read.
Beholding the evil and the good.
Read it from the top for me, please.
Verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place.
It says the eyes of the Lord are in every place. The Lord see everything. The Lord see and hear everything. Read.
Beholding the evil and the good.
Beholding the evil and the good. The Lord hear the good. He hear the evil. He see the good. He see the evil. Read.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life.
So if you got a wholesome tongue, it's the tree of life. Why? Because you could build others up. You can exhort one another's. But guess what? If you ain't got that wholesome tongue, you tearing them down. You doing the complete opposite. Read.
But perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
It says perverseness is a breach. Perverseness is a breach in the spirit, right? Meaning it's opposite of God's laws. It's contrary of that tree of life. If you got a perverse mouth, you're tearing down. You're breaking apart. You're dividing. All right? Read.
Verse 5. A fool despiseth his father's instruction.
It says a fool despiseth his father's instruction. The Lord told us, hey, speak no evil. Speak no guile. Don't be a murmuring. Don't be a talebearer, a gossiper. Read.
But he that regardeth reproof is prudent.
But guess what? You brothers and sisters that apply these scriptures, that apply, not speaking evil about your brother, guess what? You're going to be prudent. You're going to become wise. All right? You're going to learn how to deal with your people. All right? We're going to wrap it up. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. 1 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3.
Bring it out.
For our exhortation was not of deceit.
So our exhortation was not of deceit. Read.
Nor of uncleanness.
Nor uncleanness.
Nor in guile.
Nor guile. So, in this truth, when we exhort one another, it can't be for a deceitful matter. It can't be filled with guile. It got to be for the building of our people. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, we don't know how to really prefer one another. Get Romans 12:9. We don't prefer one another. That's why this activity is so easy for our people to do. We don't desire one another. We don't. And we got to learn how to overcome that spirit. Read that. Romans 12:9.
Book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Let love be without dissimulation.
So it says let love be without faking. We got to stop being fake as a people. If you don't like brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so, go talk to your brother. Go deal with your brother. Matthew's 18, your brother. Why? So you could gain your brother. That's the whole purpose of Matthew's 18, is to gain your brother, not to lose him. How we come here trying to unify, but I can't go to my brother that look just like me or my sister that look just like me and tell about herself. You know what I'm saying? Tell about herself in righteousness. Hey, sis, I don't like the way you said this and that to me. Hey, bro. Hey, well, listen, I don't like how you talk to me like that. You offended me. And if your brother is a man of God, he going to say, hey, bro, I apologize. How do we move forward from this? That's how men deal. That's how women deal. Read.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Uh-huh.
Abhor that which is evil.
It says hate that which is evil. Hate that gossiper. Hate that murmurer. Hate that thing. We're supposed to hate that. Read.
Cleave to that which is good.
Go to the brothers and sisters that's good. That's keeping these commandments. There's no evil or guile found in their mouth. Go to them brothers and sisters. Read.
Be kindly affectionate one to another.
It says we must be kindly affectionate one to another. Read.
With brotherly love.
With brotherly love.
In honor, preferring one another.
That's what we got to learn how to do. To honor and prefer one another. That's why it's so easy for our brothers and sisters to have that ungodly speech. All right, last scripture, I think it's like Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 9. Because this is the thing. Our brothers and sisters, I want y'all to really understand this. You ain't hiding nothing from the Lord. It ain't nothing you doing that the Lord don't see or know of. It ain't nothing. I think it's Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse, it might be verse 9. Let's see that.
Book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
For inquisition shall be made unto the counsels of the ungodly.
It says, for inquisition shall be made into the counsel of the ungodly. Read.
And the sound of his words shall come unto the Lord.
Uh-oh. So you telling me that when you speaking evil of your brother and sister, that go before the Lord? Read.
For the manifestation of the wicked deeds.
It says for the manifestation of your wicked deeds. Read.
For the ear of jealousy heareth all things.
It says for the ear of jealousy heareth all things. Read.
And the noise of murmurings is not hid.
Wait a minute. It says the noise of murmuring are not hid. You're not hiding that murmur. You're not hiding that gossip. You're not hiding it, that talebearing, that backbiting. You might hide it from us in here. You might hide it from men or the sisters over there, but you're not hiding it from the Lord. You're not hiding it from the Lord. He hears everything. Read.
Therefore, beware of murmuring.
Therefore, beware of murmuring. Read.
Which is unprofitable.
It is unprofitable because it leads to death. Read.
And refrain your tongue.
And refrain your tongue. Read.
From backbiting.
From backbiting.
For there is no word so secret that shall go for naught.
There's no word that you won't be judged for. Read.
And the mouth that belayeth slayeth the soul.
It says the mouth that belayeth slayeth the soul. So, verse 12, and that's it.
Seek not death in the era of your life.
So don't seek death in the era of your life. Read.
Same day.
Uh-huh.
Being the 13th day of the 12th month Adar.
Hold on. Where you at?
Oh, sorry.
Read verse 12 again.
Verse 12. Seek not death in the era of your life.
Don't seek death in the era of your life. Read.
And pull not upon yourself destruction with the works of your hands.
The works of your hand. That evil you speaking, that murmuring, that gossip, the Lord telling you, hey, he said, listen, don't let that be the reason you get your behind jacked up. He said, pull not upon yourself destruction with the works of your hand. Because why? You can control that thing. If you go talk to your brother or sister you got a problem with, you fix that. You don't have to murmur. You don't have to gossip. You don't have to be a backbiter, talebearer. You don't have to do that stuff. So that with that, Israel, we're going to say shalom. Both sign Christ bless.
What is a nation?
Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.